perfect. Holy cow, this buggy's easy to move. So his push rod tubes are leaking. So I'm gonna replace those with a set of JCs. I'll clean the jets out and the carbs, you know, clean the motor up. It seems to be kind of, you know, pretty greasy. And then the next problem we're having is when the suspension is fully dropped, he's ripping these boots. So I'm going to try to see if I can lift the motor up with a little bit of a spacer. He's got some things that I might have to notch this. There's a plate here. I might have to do some notching there. We'll see. I might have to do some welding and then re-drill some holes. Either way, we'll get that taken care of. I got to put a new seal behind the pulley here. I kind of want to say that there was something else, but so he had to put a new boot on this side. It's blue. Doesn't match anything else in the buggy, and I got a black ones, so we'll change out both sides. Other than that, I kind of think that that's it. So that's what we got right here. We got yeah, it's a high compression. Petrucci did touch these heads, so you know they're good. Yep, Leduc did the transmission last year. Maybe it was 2 years ago. Dude, I tell you what, super fast buggy. This thing will pop wheelies. He raced it one time over there at Jim Green's. She's a ripper. see if we can fire it up. Okay, so I just finished up this buggy. So what I did with it, came in with some oil leaks. They were kind of obnoxious. So I ended up putting new pushrod tubes in. Went with the trusty old JC spring loaded pushrod tubes. I did end up having to cut them down to fit. Luckily, I got the old trusty lathe. Able to just put them right in, shave them down. I did a new sand seal. The inner seal actually started spinning inside the holder. But luckily I had a couple of those laying around, so I was able to put a new seal in. I mean, it's got a gusset plate, I guess you'd call it. You know, instead of frame horns, it's got a gusset plate. Nice oil cooler. One of those fancy, I think they call it like a magneto ignition system. What is this thing? A Vertex? A Vertex distributor? But it's an ignition system? It's gotta be something fancy. Probably for them high horsepower motors.